My name is John Greenleaf Maple. I write poetry and do some art, such as, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, you definitely can now.
Oh yeah, nice.
So, and I have a blog at johngreenleafmaple.com if you want to check out any further of my works. So I don't sing like my lovely wife does, but I do write her love poems from time to time, and this is one of them.
Aww. And
this is called Celestial Celebration for Maka on her birthday.
56!
It's always better to let the women tell that. Celestial Celebration. It is very important that love poems like this always be spoken aloud, for the beating heart and quiet breath are twined in the core of our language, a vibratory code that the body knows well. Symbols have traveled far, were carefully transmuted to convey to your fierce spirit the depth of celebration and joy I feel, to simply be in your precious presence. I traveled as vibrating waves through air, through electric ones and zeros and back, but never lost the safeguarded words. The interface and the universe are no deterrent for a living message beamed from the heart. As you can hear, this is entirely sincere in its intent and content. Oh yes, it is unfailingly devoted to your graceful ways, your kind manner of reassuring all that love prevails in every trial, that in each and every moment all is well. All is well and all are loved. The world is kept vitally alive by your glorious smile, shining eyes, and sacred kiss. All that you are is miraculous. All that you touch is blessed. You are vibrantly here in all that is, which is why words like this must always be spoken aloud. A resounding strike of an eternal gong is reverberating through space to infinity, that you may always feel the transmission of one heart's true passion for another. Cascades of waves collapse to convey the devotion that faithfully beats within my chest and now proclaims joyfully that every syllable you hear is driven by unbounded appreciation for the gift of your beautiful being. All the blazing orbits you completed and all of the stars you traveled among are glimmering, pulsing in this very moment. Here you are, shimmering like grace. You've arrived at this place to know that blessings multiply and flow in a luminescent trail everywhere you go. Jewels scintillate in your footsteps, and today we celebrate the beautiful world that by your radiant essence and tender touch, you have set afire with rising sparks of spoken sounds, full of love and timelessness. About 2 years ago, we found out that my daughter Beth has stage 4 cancer, and she's doing really pretty well right now, actually. She's on an immunotherapy that has really started to give us hope. But at the time I wrote this poem, things were not going so well. She got down to 88 pounds at one point, and we thought, that we might lose her. So, I'm sorry, just lost this again. So I was not feeling particularly warm and fuzzy at the time I wrote this. It's called Pissed Off, and bad language in it. Just to warn you. And I'm going to find it in just 1 second. Okay. Pissed off. Yes, I'm all about peace and light. I'm affirming wholeness in this moment, all right, but the disappearing me is plenty pissed off and would like some control back, God damn it. Look around, it says, at an obvious sea of misery definitely sloshing toward the deep end at this time. How the fuck, for instance, can my only daughter have stage 4 cancer and they have nothing further to recommend? A derivative of mustard gas. Did you know that is the basis of all chemo in this chemical-soaked, poisonous world we worsen by the day? Yeah, pissed off doesn't even begin to describe it. I'm fucking enraged by the whole shitty slide of events, not to mention the nightly updates of a world awash and aflame. Let's love right now, in the middle of the bonfire. There's plenty of crap to burn, of that I can assure you, and I like it hotter than you might imagine on an entirely carnal plane. Fuck if I care what it translates to on some mystical, metaphysical dimension. Let's work up some sweat, some sweet, slick intertwining of an entirely physical nature, and then write about it in a peaceful way. Once we've blown off some steam, we recall the calm that was always here, except through that one amazing part where you did that thing. Oh, right. As we bring our awareness back to the room, we wiggle our fingers and toes, such bliss to have settled into ourselves just as we are, even at pissed times like this. And then after writing a poem like that, I have to write one that is entitled, I Forgive. I forgive myself for holding my spirit by the throat with the iron fist of self-doubt and recrimination. I forgive myself for choosing the safety of a defined life constrained by beliefs of worthiness, for imagining that there must be a right way which can be discovered if I simply search for it with enough sincerity and desperation, as though emergency exit lights will suddenly illuminate the way off of this insane flight from myself. I forgive myself for repeating the steps of Ho'oponopono 1,000 times. I apologize. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. While always concealing in one hand or the other a precious piece of guilt or shame, tiny shards of a shattered mirror that still hold for me an irresistible gleaming allure. I forgive myself for building boundaries into walls so that anger and resentment would always be securely held as my treasured personal affliction, so that my isolation would ensure the perpetuation of my loneliness, so that when connection is what I most need, no one can possibly reach me. I forgive myself for piling up insulation against more suffering reaching me, only to find myself turning blue, half dead from such quiet, shallow breathing, lest anyone be able to hear my soul crying out for union with divinity. There are endless ways to return to myself, secret routes known only to me. I can be here now and disappear in an instant as any need or want for my undeserving self arises. I forgive myself for taking on the suffering that rightfully belongs to others. I never understood that it is here as a lesson to be lived by its owner and then released. I forgive myself and return to this world all of the painful bits I tried to bear for you, believing then I would be fully loved. I forgive myself for feeling wrong when hurt, for believing that strength is the ability to withstand anything fear can deliver, that free will was given to me to choose the cleverly concealed steps to where perfection is reflected from the crystalline water of a pure and depthless lake. As a precautionary measure, I also forgive myself in advance for thinking I am some kind of mistake, something less than the divine love that grew this body from nothing and that created this shining heart, an open gate which none can close before me. Today I see the whole hot mess of me, striving to be better than absolute perfection. And today, I truly do forgive. Okay, here we go. Refuge. Those who do not live in love can only act from fear. When it grows strong enough, hate and violence burst forth from the torturous pain of separation. A deranged 22-year-old stalks trails in KC, executing white men in my age range. 5 shot in the back of the head. They never saw it coming, he quietly stated in confession. Like unexpected grace, he brought them sudden peace. In Charlottesville, the fear draws armed white supremacists together. Weapon caches are strategically placed throughout the city in case more hate should need to be inflicted. Like Easter Islanders gone single-mindedly mad, driven over the edge of sustainability, they march with tiki torches to lend a tropical festive air to the dangerous, smoke-laden air. Near Philadelphia, 18-year-old Bianca Nicole Roberson finishes shopping for her first semester at college. She parts from her mother and grandmother at the mall, looking forward to the fall, and fails to allow an angry white young man into her lane fast enough. Shot in the head through the window, she careens away, already dead when she crashes into a roadside tree, her beautiful young life forever gone from the lane he claims. He speeds off in a red pickup truck, desperate to be somewhere sane. In Houston, our callous disregard for the planet's health is made clear. Thousands are washed from their sodden homes by the most severe rainfall in United States weather history. 3 straight days of broken records, 30 are left dead, yet it is love that pulls survivors from the wreckage. Thousands of them spared, and even now when things appear to be at their utmost worst, we are given another chance to reflect and begin anew. Caught in the swell of myriad and complex tragedies, I could easily be brought to a standstill, but I serve no one by being depressed. Tugged by the tide of perilous change, I affirm that I am love, that I have no desire to follow this malicious energy roaming the land. I am peace, and I will continue to increase. Though I suffer the anguish of my brothers and sisters, I am hope that swims always toward light. In the midst of seething chaos, I am still. I am pulsing eternal life. I am the joy of existence. I am a safe harbor and refuge. In one power only, one source, I am.
All right, let's give it up.